In our last videos, we uncovered the truth. You're stuck in a loop. Birth, death, rebirth. You've lived hundreds of lives, but you remember nothing. But here's the question that changes everything. What if this could be your last life? What if you never have to come back? How would you know? What are the signs that your soul is finally ready to break free? Krishna didn't leave us guessing. He gave us the exact markers, the qualities, the shifts, the unmistakable signs that liberation is near. The truth doesn't knock loudly. It waits in the silence between your thoughts until you finally listen. And if you recognize even one of these in yourself, your soul might be closer to freedom than you think. Most people assume liberation is for saints, monks, people who renounce the world. But Krishna never said that. In fact, he said something far more radical. In chapter 18, verse 54 of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna reveals, "One who is thus transcendentally situated at once realizes the Supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments or desires to have anything. He is equally disposed toward every living entity. In that state, he attains pure devotional service unto me." Notice what he's saying. The sign isn't withdrawal from life, it's equanimity within it. You don't lament losses. You don't crave gains. You see a beggar and a billionaire with the same eyes. Not because you're forcing yourself to be neutral, but because you genuinely are. That's not philosophy. That's freedom, beginning to awaken in you. When life's ups and downs stop controlling your inner state, that's the first sign. You're no longer at the mercy of circumstances. You've stepped out of the reaction loop. When the waves no longer pull you, it doesn't mean the ocean has calmed. It means you've become the depth beneath it. But there's more. In chapter 8, verse 5, Krishna declares, "And whoever, at the end of their life, quits their body, remembering me alone, at once attains my nature. Of this, there is no doubt." This is the ultimate test. Your last thought determines your next destination. If, in your final moment, your mind is fully absorbed in the divine, not out of fear, not out of desperation, but out of pure love and remembrance, you're free. But here's the catch. You can't fake your last thought. Whatever dominates your life will dominate your death. If you spent your life chasing money, your last thought will be about wealth. If you lived in fear, you'll die in fear. If you spent decades resenting someone, that bitterness will be your final companion. Your death reveals what you truly lived for. That's why Krishna emphasized consistent practice, not last-minute devotion. The last breath doesn't decide your fate. Every unnoticed breath before it does. That's why remembrance isn't ritual, it's rhythm. But how do you know if you're even capable of that final remembrance? In chapter 6, verse 45, Krishna gives another clue. "But the yogi who strives with sincere endeavor, purified of all sins and perfected through many births, finally attains the supreme goal." Notice the phrase, perfected through many births. This isn't your first rodeo. If you're even asking these questions about karma, rebirth, liberation, your soul has been on this path for lifetimes. You've failed before. You've tried and fallen back. But each life, you got a little closer. Each birth refined you a little more. And now, in this life, something is different. You're not just going through the motions. You're questioning, seeking, waking up. That restlessness you feel, that sense that there's more to life than this. That's not anxiety. That's your soul recognizing it's near the exit. The soul doesn't evolve by adding more. It evolves by shedding what was never real. And when nothing false is left, truth stands alone. But the final sign, the one that seals it, comes from chapter 14, verse 26 of the Bhagavad Gita. "One who engages in full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances, at once transcends the modes of material nature and thus comes to the level of Brahman." Notice the word, unfailing in all circumstances. That's the key. Not devotion when life is good, not faith when things go your way, but unshaken presence even when everything falls apart. When betrayal doesn't break you, when loss doesn't destroy you, when success doesn't intoxicate you. That's when you know the cycle no longer owns you. That's freedom, not a place you reach, but the silence that remains when you stop mistaking yourself for the story. So here's how you know this might be your final birth. You're no longer driven by desires, but by purpose. You see people not as threats or opportunities, but as souls on their own journey. You've stopped resisting life and started flowing with it. And even in chaos, there's a stillness inside you that nothing can touch. If you're feeling even a fraction of this, don't ignore it. Your soul is knocking on the door of liberation. This could be your last time here. Don't waste it chasing what doesn't matter. If this resonated, like, share, and subscribe, because some of you reading this are closer to freedom than you realize.